Tokenization is the future of how money will move around the planet. Ripple's partnership with Medico is connecting some of the largest banks in the world to be able to tokenize their custody of assets and crypto and securities and to bring them on chain. We're going to dive into Medico's partnerships, how big they actually are, and what type of value will we see coming on chain over the next few years. And what will that do to the price of XRP? Let's go ahead and dive in. We first need to start here with the tokenization economy, Davos 2024. Euroclear, a global provider of financial market infrastructure, which are known as FMI services. CEO Lev Mostry. I sometimes say that probably history will say that it has been unhelpful for blockchain, that it's the first use case was Bitcoin. Let me just go ahead and play this for you.
And I think you were talking earlier about the noise around blockchain. I sometimes say that probably history will say that it was unhelpful for blockchain, that the first use case was Bitcoin. Because I think it has probably created this noise over the technology, and it is important to look at the technology. So we have taken it further. It's not that we are willing, it's not that we are exploring, we have done it. So as I mentioned last year, we came to the conclusion that the big worry was about fragmentation and loss of liquidity, which made the concepts that we were first working on, and it's not by coincidence that you talk about money market funds. As liquidity was reduced, it was really about very short-term paper, buy and hold, because secondary market was much harder as it was just focused on one chain. But what we have done with Euroclear, we have looked at this challenge and we said, how can we address this? And we have done a great work with the World Bank that has done its first fully digital issuance. And we have built our own blockchain on which there is not only the security token, but we also have created our cash token on it, which is a representation of Euroclear Bank, commercial bank money. And what we have done is that we have done this fully under existing legal framework. We felt it was important not to be in a pilot case or in a sandbox, because this is limiting the use. We say this has to be possible under the regular legal framework. And we have done this issuance focused entirely on the primary phase. So we have done the primary issuance, the primary distribution. But then what we have done in order to address the challenge of fragmentation and the challenge of this being very short-term paper interest then, is that we have leveraged it and we have flipped it over, if you want, to the legacy environment. So that the same digital issuance is perfectly usable in the secondary markets on the huge network that we represent to all people that are connected to that network. It can be used as collateral management. It can be used, and it has been used as collateral management. It has been used in tri-party. And so this experience now is helping us, I believe, to say, okay, we take in part of the value chain, we take the efficiencies, we take the advantages of the technology, we tackle the disadvantages that we have seen by bringing it back to the big network. And this also allows to see a start of a migration path. Because also what I mentioned last year is that while you can imagine the ideal end state of everybody being connected on a chain and interacting in an existing financial environment where the network effect is so important, it's hard to see the migration path. Mm-hmm. And I believe with what we have done now, we see how we can take for part of the value chain already efficiencies without losing these efficiencies, doing it in an existing legal framework, and start seeing migration paths with the entire ecosystem for the years to come.
Start to see migration of the old system basically coming onto blockchain. Euroclear processes trillions of dollars, right, per year. And you're seeing more and more financial market infrastructure upgrading to blockchain. And that is what we're waiting for, the migration to happen. And part of that is going to be Medico, right? Ripple bought Medico for $250 million, a single unified platform. It's almost the same word she said, unified platform to secure and govern all digital asset transactions and operations, and says we're now part of Ripple, right? And so let's start here. Standard Chartered debuts crypto services in Europe with a new license. Banking giant Standard Chartered is debuting crypto services in Europe via its new Luxembourg entity after securing a digital asset license under the new MiCA framework. Standard Chartered is one of the world's largest banks. It's debuting cryptocurrency services in Europe after obtaining a digital asset license in Luxembourg. The bank announced on January 9th that it's establishing a new entity in Luxembourg in the European Union to offer crypto digital asset custody services. The move comes after the implementation of the MiCA regulation, cryptocurrency framework for the EU. Also, too, I'm going to show you some really interesting connections with Standard Chartered here. So Standard Chartered backed Zodia Custody joins Ripple. All right. So Zodia Custody, a cryptocurrency storage provider backed by Standard Chartered, is joining Ripple-owned security specialist Medico's network, which is designed to handle the safekeeping and the settlement of digital assets for institutions around the world. The firm said on Monday, crypto storage and settlement networks where assets remain in custody to remove cryptocurrency risk are becoming more popular, particularly in the wake of last year's blowup with FTX. All right. So now we have Standard Chartered getting new licenses to offer cryptocurrency to its banking customers and retail customers. And we understand that those assets will be with Medico. All right. And then Zodia Custody, winner of the best digital asset custodian, Standard Chartered Northwestern Trust, SBI Digital Holdings partnership with Ripple.
The highly acclaimed honoree this afternoon for the Best Digital Assets Custodian Award. And this goes to Zodia Custody. And please welcome Ms. Anush Arev-Chatian, who is the Chief Risk Officer. Anush, excellent to see you on screen. Over to you for a few words. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Nirav, and thank you, everyone. I'm so excited to accept this reward on behalf of Zodia Custody, which is the leading institution-first digital asset custodian by Standard Chartered and in association with Northern Trust and SBI Digital Asset Holdings. Our mission is really simple. It's one of enabling institutional investors around the globe to realize the full potential of the digital asset future, simply, safely, and importantly, without compromise. Over here at Zodia Custody, we are thrilled by this accolade, and we're looking forward to serving our clients' leads globally. Thank you so much.
All right. So their technology is so good, they won an award, beating out other technology providers. It's great to see. Also, SC Ventures and SBI established digital asset joint venture firm in the UAE. Just more information, $100 million to kickstart the investment company, digital asset joint venture, Dubai International Finance Center. It does look like Ripple and Medico are involved in this as well with Zodia Custody and Zodia Market. You're also seeing, man, this is messed up, right? Create bank-grade solutions in the cryptocurrency world. Standard Chartered Zodia Custody has integrated with Ripple-owned Medico. So that's that. The partnership with Ripple Blockchain Australia holds a policy forum for crypto regulations, also includes Zodia Custody. So now you're seeing this expand UAE, Europe, and now we are going down to Australia, where this is actually, it's becoming really, really big, right? And then you have HSBC adoption of Medico platform could drive interest in XRP Ledger. Supporters of the XRP Ledger reportedly see a collaboration with Ripple-owned infrastructure provider Medico and financial institution HSBC as a sign that the banks will adopt the Ledger protocol and even the XRP token. Let's go. That collaboration, when it was announced earlier this month, has led supporters to believe that the Ledger and the token will gain further prominence, CoinDesk said. All right. Then you have Hong Kong's largest bank, HSBC, is aping into real-world assets. The bank announced that the Hong Kong retail investors have access to gold tokenized products. And then, of course, following their partnership with Swift's crypto custody firm Medico. You also have DZ Bank. This is one of the largest banks in Germany. DZ Bank launches digital asset custody platform. Says last week, DZ Bank announced a launch of an institutional digital asset custody platform. The bank has about 300 billion euros in assets under custody, ranking it the third in Germany behind BNP Paribas and State Street. Also, Ripple, partners. Okay. And then here you go. DZ Bank launched Germany's pioneering secure digital assets custody platform for institutions. Take a look. Medico is putting this out. So we know that that is their real partnership. Let's go ahead and play this.
DZ Bank is quite happy, and we're a bit proud that we're one of the first banks in Germany which really built and made their digital custody platform going live. We can serve our...
Excuse me, if you've made it this far, guys, please hit like. I'm trying to go for 5,000 likes on this video. With your help, I think we can get that done. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. Let's get back to it.
Our clients dealing with settlement and custody of digital assets, focusing on crypto securities according to the German securities law. My name is Holger Meffert. I'm head of security services and digital custody at DZ Bank in Frankfurt. DZ Bank is the largest German depository bank with a volume of 300 million asset under depository.
Beginning of 2023, we then decided that we should best work together with Metaco Harmonize. So what we aimed at is finding a solution that is as best as integrated in existing capital markets processes to make it as efficient as possible.
All right, I'm not going to play this whole thing because I have played this in previous videos. I did want to show you some more connections here. Ripple and DZ Bank, a game-changing partnership in Europe. You just kind of a little bit more of what we've already talked about, so I won't read that all to you again. Let's keep it going here. Lots of other stuff to get to. It says important adoption dates for ISO 20022 in 2025. Yes, HSBC US base is a Ripple partner labs through its technology startup Medico. The partnership is to develop a platform for securing strong tokenized assets. Ripple XRP and Stellar Lumens are both ISO compliant. They're missing a 2 here, but all good. And both are based in the USA. Non-US based cryptos could face a steep 30% capital gains tax. So, if and when this gets passed, it will help out US based cryptos. Just a data point here on the Medico Ripple IBM partnerships. James Wallace pioneered IBM's blockchain efforts in 2015 to 2018 before joining Ripple. So you have more connections to Ripple's team and to IBM. They have been working side by side together for some time. IBM has also been working with Stellar and some other blockchain companies. David Schwartz of Ripple talks partnership with Medico and HSBC. Listen up here.
Ripple trying to be like a sort of one-stop shop for institutional adoption of crypto, and institutions are going to be the main drivers. So you need some place to store it. If there's CBDCs, if there's stable coins, people are going to need places to store them. They're going to need connections to on-ramps and off-ramps, payments, liquidity services. We looked at many different companies, and then in May we acquired Medico. But Medico has so much more than they have those things of layered services with compliance. They have this possibility for a tokenization platform and this integrating it with payments and liquidity. HSBC, they plan to offer a custody service for digital assets to their clients. It's kind of like a layering service. What's great about that is HSBC can do the sort of compliance part for them. And they're looking at things like digital asset insurance, tokenized commodities like gold, tokenized securities. HSBC is extremely interested in those types of projects. Their Orion project, which was a tokenized gold.
All right, let's keep it going. A little bit more to get to here before we end here today. So also partnership Medico with Societe Generale. They are also working with Medico to expand institutional digital asset capabilities to their customers. Also, BBVA Switzerland has expanded its partnership with Medico and seeks to accelerate its digital asset offering to institutional clients. Remember, they're always going to provide this with their biggest clients first. But once they do that, they're going to roll it out to the rest of their customer base. Hopefully sooner or later, both you and I are institutional clients, right? BBVA in Switzerland was one of the first tier 1 bank in the Eurozone to provide custody and trading services for cryptocurrencies under a combined portfolio across traditional and digital assets. This service was previously awarded to the Salant Model Wealth Manager 2022 accolade. As part of an extended relationship, BBVA Switzerland successfully migrated its digital asset operations to the latest version of Medico's harmonized consumer as of software as a service model to fully integrate it with Avalok's core banking system. This will allow BBVA to further develop digital asset capabilities, and it will allow the bank to support future businesses use cases in the realm of digital assets. Remember, guys, banks are going to offer crypto custody to their clients, but banks need a safe place to custody those assets. What better of a place with Ripple and with Medico? This is the future for banks as we know it. Here's also a clip, advice from the CEO of Medico, which was acquired by Ripple. We know that. Let me play this for you.
And the best protection that you can have, and you have an engineering background,
like this.
so it was very, very hard for me to understand this. You have to create a big marketing powerhouse. I'm an engineer. I always thought you win the market because you have a great product. That's absolutely incorrect. You win the market because the market thinks you have the best product, not because you have it. And how do you get the markets to think that you have the best product? Well, you flood the market with information, and it costs you money. So you have to have the people, and you have to have the budget. And so one of the most important things that I didn't do, but I would do in my next venture the day it happens, is I would not, raise funds to invest in a big engineering team and a big product team, on day one. I would raise to invest in a marketing and sales team and ensure that even before I have a product, the market already thinks I'm the market leader. And that's a very, very difficult thing to get to when you're an engineer and you're Swiss, because Americans are used to selling things they don't have. Well, sorry for the ones that don't do it this way, but that's true in many ways.
Guys, listen, Ripple, Medico, and all the Ripple, they have what he was just describing, right? Everybody is buzzing about Ripple's technology, best in class. That is why Ripple is able to pick up all of these customers, because they spend the money on the marketing. You see Ripple everywhere, in subway station, on taxi cabs, in New York City. They're so good at marketing and getting the message out, and banks and financial institutions take notice. I loved what he said there. All right. And then also partnerships with Medico and Dhaka Bank. As you can see, our extensive due diligence process clearly pointed out that Medico Harmonize brings unparalleled value proposition. You also have a possible partnership between Ripple and Citibank. Seems very plausible, as Medico's SA has also worked with Citi since 2022. It's going to be interesting to see if in fact this does, blossom some really great relationships and partnerships with Ripple and Citibank. Citi partnered with Ripple, a prominent blockchain technology provider, to develop a private blockchain network tailored for cross-border payments. Now, Citi did work with Ripple previously, and then they moved on. They worked with Reliability Network. I can't remember the acronym in that, but it does seem like Citibank is interested in working with Medico for maybe some other type of custody of assets. And then he says the biggest banks in the world will use Ripple custody in 2025. Ripple's strategic partnership with Medico is no coincidence. Ripple is already aligned with tier 1 banks globally, securing partnerships that give them 80% coverage of the world's key trade corridors. And I think this has actually risen over the past 6 months. Now, with Trump expected to overturn SAB 121 veto, U.S. tier 1 banks will finally gain the green light to custody digital assets. This regulatory shift opens the floodgates for utility tokens to gain momentum with Ripple's custody platform, leveraging the XRP ledger to tokenize real-world assets. Imagine 80% of the world's trade corridors transacting tokenized real-world assets via the XRP ledger. The infrastructure is already in place, and the documentation points to this becoming a reality. This isn't speculation. It's already happening. And then here's just some of the information that he brought up in his top post. I'm not going to read all of this back to you because we did go over the key and points and highlights here. And also, I have to go back to this. All right. We don't know what the future price of XRP will be, but to me, I could definitely see some crazy shit happening as trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars come on chain over the next few decades. As the circulating supply of XRP drops, there could very well be a path to a 50K, 100K XRP. It could very well happen. Obviously, we would need so many incredible things to happen. I think a lot of us would be happy with a $500 XRP or $1,000 XRP. But listen to Quincy Jones, who's actually been a developer on the XRP ledger. He will tell you himself what he thinks.
So anybody out there that's telling you they know where the price of XRP will go has no idea. Absolutely zero clue. But I'll give you a tiny hint of an idea of what could happen. So XRP is it's a financial instrument of value. And that instrument is basically, the instrument's really liquidity between different other instruments like bonds, stocks, currencies, everything basically. Yeah. And the XRP is only worth the value of the things that are issued on it, because it would cost XRP to buy those things on the network and use that liquidity. Mm-hmm. So what ends up happening here is not only do you have to issue all of the equity, but you've also got to issue all of the debt. So XRP is only bound by the fiscal responsibility of the people that issue assets on it, which is obviously irresponsible. So XRP could be at $100, $100,000, $1 million. It depends on how many assets you want to issue onto the network. So if you wanted to issue, $100 trillion worth of equity Cool. That's a lot of money on the network. What happens if they want to issue another $500 million worth of debt? That also adds value to the network. So there really is a mind-blowing amount of wealth, essentially, that can basically be flowing through these networks that we can't even comprehend because of that debt question of being able to issue more and more and more value in the form of.
What do you think, guys? Let me know it in the comments. What you think about Ripple and Medico, and will they unlock the future for all of these tier 1 banks to custody digital assets as well as tokenize the world's value and bring it on chain? I do think we are in the right place at the right time. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you around. Thank you so much for your support. If you can share the video with somebody that you think will get value, I will see you next time. I've been Crypto Sensei. Aloha.